Ladies and gentlemen, I came today to speak to the woman who feels unseen, the woman sitting in the back row of life, the woman who walks into rooms and hears the silence louder than the noise, the woman with no family not because she chose it, but because life rearranged the furniture of her soul and walked out the door. To you, I say, you are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, and you are not finished. We often define family by bloodlines and last names, but I serve notice today family is not always who you came from. Sometimes it's who you become. Pain, it has a way of introducing itself without knocking. It comes in like an uninvited guest, tearing through your peace, rearranging your confidence, and touching parts of your soul you didn't even know were exposed. And the first lie it tries to whisper into your ear is this: you must be weak. But I came here to tear down that lie. I came here to stand in the gap for every woman who's ever mistaken her pain for powerlessness, to every woman who cried herself to sleep thinking, if I was stronger, I wouldn't feel this, to every woman who's been told, get over it, toughen up, move on, as if her soul were made of steel and not spirit. Let me tell you something, your pain does not mean you're weak. Your pain does not mean you're broken beyond repair. Your pain does not disqualify you. In fact, your pain may be the evidence that you're carrying more power than you know. Let's go deeper. Pain is a sign of life. If something hurts, it means it's still alive. Numbness is the absence of pain, but it's also the absence of life. So if you're feeling it, if your heart still aches, if your soul still trembles, then you're still fighting. That means there's breath in your body and purpose in your path. Pain is not a punishment, it's a signal. It tells you something matters here. It tells you you haven't given up. And if you're still here, that means heaven hasn't finished writing your story. Strength is not the absence of pain, it's the choice to rise through it. See, we've been fed this false definition of strength. We've been told that strength looks like silence, that strength looks like stoicism, that strong women don't cry, don't falter, don't feel. But I dare to flip that narrative. Real strength is not denial, it's endurance. It's waking up the next morning after your heart has been shattered and saying, I'm still here. It's going to work with tears in your eyes, but purpose in your stride. It's raising children when no one's helping, worshiping when you feel empty, and still speaking life when all you've known is death. That's strength. You're not weak because you feel pain, you're strong because you didn't let that pain bury you. Power is often hidden in the struggle. Do you know where power is born? Not in comfort, not in applause, but in the dark rooms of difficulty, in the silence of suffering, in the shadows where no one is watching but God. Let me remind you, some of the most powerful people in Scripture were born out of pain. Joseph was thrown in a pit before he wore a robe of royalty. Ruth lost everything before she found her destiny. Esther faced annihilation before she found her voice. Their pain didn't disqualify them, it positioned them. And woman of God, the same is true for you. Pain is a midwife to purpose. If you've ever given birth, you understand this. Pain precedes delivery. The contractions don't come because you're dying, they come because something is about to live. Could it be that the pressure you feel is not proof you're perishing, but confirmation that you're pregnant with something greater? Yes, the pain is real. Yes, the tears are justified, but behind that struggle is a story. Behind that heartbreak is a healing. Behind that rejection is redirection. Behind that loss is legacy. What you're carrying will shift the atmosphere around you if you don't let pain convince you to quit. Don't waste the wound. You didn't go through that for nothing. You didn't survive the abandonment, the abuse, the betrayal just to walk away empty. No, that wound is a weapon now. That scar is a sermon. That ache is an anointing. Let pain teach you, but not define you. Let it shape you, but not silence you. Let it deepen you, but not defeat you. What the enemy meant to crush you will cultivate wisdom in you. What tried to end you will empower others through you. You didn't come this far just to bleed, you came this far to birth something. The most dangerous woman is the one who found her power in her pain. You want to know who shakes hell. It's not the perfect woman. It's not the polished woman. It's the woman who walked through the fire and came out not smelling like smoke. It's the woman who said, You took everything, but I still believe. It's the woman who has every reason to give up but gets up anyway. That woman you is a threat, because now you know the truth. Your pain did not strip you of your power, it revealed it. Final thoughts, so the next time the enemy tries to point at your pain and whisper, "Look how broken you are." You look back and say, "This pain, it's not proof of my weakness, it's the pathway to my strength. You are not powerless, you are not fragile, you are not forgotten, you are a force, so wear your scars like armor. Walk with your limp like a lioness, and remember every tear, every ache, every groan of your soul is producing glory. You didn't break down, you broke through." There are moments in life when you find yourself standing alone, surrounded by silence, or in a place where no one seems to understand your journey. You look around, and the faces you once knew have disappeared. Relationships that once provided comfort have now become distant, and the spaces that once felt alive with laughter and love are now filled with emptiness. It's a word that makes the heart ache, isn't it? It's the feeling of being cast aside, forgotten, or even abandoned. And when we're in the thick of it, it's easy to assume that isolation is a punishment, a sign that we've somehow failed, that we've been left behind because we aren't good enough or worthy enough. But hear me clearly today. Isolation is not your punishment. It is your preparation. It's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of something new. You're not being abandoned, you're being aligned. So often, we mistake isolation for rejection. We assume that because we're walking this road alone, something must be wrong with us. But isolation, when understood in its true form, is the very thing that can cultivate the strength you need to walk into your destiny. It's the crucible where God refines you, shapes you, and builds in you something that can never be shaken. And when you understand this truth, you will begin to see your isolation not as a sign of failure, but as an invitation to discover the power within you. When everything around you is quiet, when the distractions are stripped away, you begin to hear the voice of your own soul. You begin to hear God speaking to you in ways you've never heard before, not because He wasn't there all along, but because there were too many voices in your life drowning Him out. Isolation has a way of revealing what's in you, the strength you didn't know you had, the resilience you didn't think you could summon. It's easy to depend on others when they're around, to lean on the approval of friends, family, or colleagues. But in isolation, you have no one else to lean on but yourself and the God who has never abandoned you. You see, when you're alone, you learn to tap into a deeper reservoir of courage. You learn to stand on your own 2 feet, even when you're not sure where the next step will take you. And though it may feel uncomfortable, it is in those moments of solitude that your true character is forged. In the quiet, you find out who you really are. In the silence, you begin to realize you are more than your circumstances, more than the expectations of others, more than the labels they've placed on you. You are not defined by who stays or who leaves, but by who God says you are. When life forces you into isolation, it has a way of eliminating distractions. All the noise that once consumed your attention, whether it was the opinions of others, the busyness of work, or the constant stream of social media, begins to fade away. And in that silence, you are left with one precious gift: clarity. Isolation is a gift of focus. It is the opportunity to clear your mind and realign your priorities. It's when you finally have the time to sit with yourself, to understand what you truly want, what your purpose is, and where God is leading you. Without the distractions, you are free to hear the still small voice of the Holy Spirit, who whispers the next steps on your journey. You see, God does not waste the moments of isolation. He uses them to sharpen your vision, to refine your calling, and to prepare you for what's ahead. While others may be running in circles, you are standing still in the presence of God, being prepared for the greater work He is about to do through you. It's easy to let the opinions of others shape your identity. It's easy to let the world tell you who you should be, how you should dress, what success should look like, and how you should measure up. But the problem with this is that the world's definition of success is fleeting. It's shallow, it's temporary. In isolation, you have the chance to discover your true identity, an identity that is not based on the approval or rejection of others, but on the truth of who you are in Christ. When no one else is around to validate you, God steps in and says, "You are enough. You are my beloved. You are called. You are chosen." Isolation strips away the false identities that have been placed on you, the labels you've worn, the titles you've assumed. And when those things fall away, you are left with the purity of who you really are. God, in His infinite wisdom, uses isolation to show you your true worth, the value that is not defined by what you do, but by who you are. Your faith is not tested in the easy moments, but in the moments when you are alone, when the path is unclear, and when it feels like you are standing at a crossroads with no direction. Faith isn't built in comfort zones. It's built in the wilderness. It's built in the seasons when everything seems to be falling apart. When you're isolated, you are forced to lean on God in ways that you never would if you had constant support. And it's in this season of dependence that your faith becomes strong. God uses your isolation as a time to show you just how much you need Him, and as you lean on Him, you discover that He is enough. When everything around you crumbles, God is your solid rock. When people fail you, God remains faithful, and in your isolation, you realize that it is God alone who sustains you. This deepening of faith, this strengthening of trust in God, is what prepares you to face the next season of your life, the season of breakthrough, of expansion, of purpose. You may not understand it now, but God is preparing you for something greater. What feels like abandonment is actually alignment. What feels like delay is God's divine timing. When you're in isolation, it may feel like you're stuck, like you're spinning your wheels and not moving forward. But I assure you, God is preparing you in ways you cannot yet comprehend. He is strengthening you, deepening you, and equipping you for the task ahead. Every moment in isolation is a moment of preparation. It's a moment of learning. It's a moment of growth. You may be in a holding pattern right now, but soon the doors of opportunity will open before you. And when they do, you'll step through them with confidence, knowing that your isolation wasn't wasted, it was the training ground for your destiny. Isolation is not the absence of progress. It's the moment when God prepares you to soar. I challenge you today, woman of God, embrace this season of solitude. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Instead, use it as an opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to become the woman you were always meant to be. This time of isolation is your opportunity to get aligned with the will of God, to deepen your understanding of your own heart, and to build the foundation of faith that will carry you into your future. Remember, you are not alone. You are being prepared. And when it's time for you to step out of this season of isolation, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more equipped to handle the life that lies ahead of you. Closing thoughts, isolation is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the place where God pulls you close so that you can hear Him more clearly, see yourself more clearly, and move forward with greater clarity, strength, and purpose. So don't despise it, don't resent it. Know that your isolation is not an accident. It is God's divine preparation for what's next. There are moments in life when the weight of your past feels so heavy, you wonder if it will define you forever. Perhaps you look at your family history and see patterns of dysfunction, pain, and struggle. You see cycles of brokenness that seem unbreakable, generations of wounds that haven't yet healed, and relationships that have been tainted by hurt and disappointment. Maybe you've even asked yourself, how can I ever move forward when everything behind me feels like a burden? But today, I'm here to declare over you, you are the beginning of a new bloodline. You are not bound by the mistakes or failures of those who came before you. You are not doomed to repeat the patterns of your ancestors. You are the one who will rewrite the story. You are the one who will break the chains. You are the one who will set a new course for the generations that follow. You are the one who will change the trajectory of your family's future. This is not just about your personal journey, this is about the legacy you are about to leave. You are the root from which a new tree will grow, the foundation of something great, something glorious, something whole. And I know it may not feel like it now. Right now, the journey might seem tough. The battles you're facing may seem insurmountable. But you must understand this truth: God does not make mistakes. He has positioned you here in this moment to do what no one else has done. He has called you to be the pioneer of a new legacy, a legacy of love, healing, prosperity, and purpose. It is so easy to look at your family history and let it define you, to look at the mistakes, the dysfunction, and the pain, and think that somehow you're destined to carry those burdens forever. You might think that because your family didn't do things the right way, neither will you. Or because they struggled with addiction, poverty, or abuse, you will too. But hear me when I say this: your past is not your prison. What your family has gone through, what they've struggled with, and what they've endured does not have to be your inheritance. You do not have to carry forward the weight of their unresolved issues. You are not obligated to live out the same patterns, to repeat the same mistakes, or to walk the same painful path. You are the beginning of something new. You are the interruption in the cycle. You are the one who has the power to say, "This ends with me." Whatever your family has struggled with, whether it's addiction, abuse, financial instability, or broken relationships, you have the power to break free. You don't need to look to your past for validation, for identity, or for direction. Look to God. Look to His promises, because you are His chosen vessel to bring change to your bloodline. When God calls you to be the beginning of a new bloodline, He's not just calling you to live, He's calling you to create. He's calling you to cultivate something bigger than yourself, something greater than your own individual success. He's calling you to sow seeds into the future that will blossom into a legacy of purpose, greatness, and impact. Think about it for a moment. Every family has a story, a legacy. Some are written in sorrow and others in triumph. And you, beloved, are the one who will rewrite the story of your family's legacy. You are the seed of a great harvest. Just as a seed is planted in the ground and must endure the process of growth, sometimes through storms, through droughts, through dark seasons, so too will you endure. But you must believe that after the struggles, after the challenges, after the seasons of waiting, you will blossom into the person God has called you to be. And when you rise, the generations that follow you will rise with you. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will live in the fruit of your labor. They will walk in the freedom of the legacy you are creating now. Perhaps you've seen the same patterns in your family for generations. You've watched people struggle with addiction, poverty, divorce, or failure, and every time you look at it, you wonder, will it ever stop? Here's the good news: it stops with you. You are the one who will break the cycle. You are the one who will stop the destructive patterns from passing down through your bloodline. It may not happen overnight, it may take time. But as you take responsibility for your own healing, as you step into your purpose, as you make intentional choices to break free from old ways of thinking and behaving, you will create a ripple effect that will change everything. The way you live today will be the foundation upon which future generations stand. Your courage, your choices, your faithfulness will set a new standard for your family. The chains that once bound your ancestors will not bind you, and they will not bind those who come after you. You, my friend, are the one who will break the cycle of defeat and bring a new standard of victory to your family. I know that for some of you, this message may stir up pain. The thought of being the beginning of a new bloodline may feel overwhelming, especially if you've experienced deep hurt in your own life. Maybe you've faced abuse, rejection, betrayal, or loss, and now the idea of being a change maker feels daunting. But let me assure you, your pain will not be wasted. Every tear you've cried, every heartache you've endured, Every disappointment you've faced is part of God's process to prepare you for what's next. He will use your pain to refine you, to teach you, and to equip you for the task ahead. Your wounds are not a reflection of your weakness, but the scars of your strength. As you heal, you will become the vessel through which healing flows into others. As you rise above your pain, you will have the authority to help others rise above theirs. Your redemption will become a testimony for future generations, showing them that no matter what they go through, they too can rise, heal, and thrive. I want you to understand this. What you do today will pave the way for tomorrow. You may feel like you're walking this road alone right now, but the truth is, you are blazing a trail for your children, your grandchildren, and beyond. As you walk forward in faith, as you trust God with your steps, He is building a pathway behind you, a pathway of hope, a pathway of strength, a pathway of victory. The way you live, the choices you make, the legacy you build, it's all a roadmap for those who will follow in your footsteps. And what's even more beautiful is this: you don't have to be perfect to lead them. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to be willing to keep walking, keep trusting, keep going. Your journey, with all its twists, turns, and triumphs, will be the example that inspires those who come after you. Understand this: the legacy you are building isn't just for your children, it's for every generation that follows. Every decision you make today has the power to shape the future. Every act of courage, every step of faith, every choice to rise above your circumstances is a step toward a legacy that will transcend time. And when you stand before God one day, He will not ask you, "What did you accomplish for yourself?" He will ask you, "What did you leave behind for those who come after you?" The legacy you leave, the bloodline you are beginning, is eternal. Closing thoughts: you are the beginning of a new bloodline. You are the root of a new tree. You are the one who will break the chains of your past and set a new course for your family. Walk forward with confidence. Live your life with purpose, and know this: your story is far from over. It is just beginning. We live in a world that often equates family to bloodlines, to the people you share DNA with, the people who are tied to you by biological ties. We are told that family is the one group of people who are supposed to love us unconditionally, who are meant to walk through life with us, who are supposed to have our back no matter what. Yet, so many of us have experienced the pain of rejection, abandonment, and betrayal from the very people we thought were our family. The reality is that not everyone who shares your DNA will be there for you in the ways you need them. Some will disappoint you, some will hurt you, some may even walk away from you. But hear this: God's definition of family is not confined to DNA. In fact, God sends family through destiny, not DNA. Your true family is not defined by the blood that flows through your veins. Your real family is made up of the people who are destined to be part of your journey, the people who walk with you according to God's purpose for your life. God orchestrates divine connections that go beyond the natural realm. While biology might define your relatives, it is God who sends you the true family members, the ones who will help you fulfill your purpose, walk with you through trials, and push you toward your destiny. These are the people who are aligned with your calling, those whose hearts beat in sync with the divine plan God has for you. And the beauty of it is, these connections transcend mere biology. They are spiritual. They are eternal. They are chosen by God. God sends family through destiny, not DNA. It's easy to think that the family you are born in, too, is the family you're stuck with, that the people who share your last name and blood are the ones you're supposed to journey through life with. But the truth is, God doesn't make mistakes in the families He places us in. He's a sovereign God, and He knows exactly who He has placed in your life for a reason, whether they're tied to you by blood or by divine destiny. God has assigned certain people to walk with you at specific points in your life. People who are meant to help you grow, encourage you, challenge you, and sometimes even hurt you, because it's through the pain that God often refines you for what He has next. Family is not a biological accident. God knew exactly who needed to be in your life to help you step into your destiny. Even if the people who share your DNA have hurt you, neglected you, or failed to support you, know this: God will provide the family you need for your purpose. He will send the right people into your life at the right time. People who will align with His plans for you. People who will love you in ways that make you feel seen, heard, and understood. Your true family is not determined by the circumstances of your birth. It is determined by the destiny God has placed within you. Think about the people in your life who have been there for you, who have walked alongside you through the highs and lows, who have believed in you when no one else did. These people may not share your last name or your genetic code, but in every sense of the word, they are your family. They may be friends, mentors, or even strangers who were sent into your life for a specific purpose. And let me tell you something. The family God sends into your life is often more powerful than the one you were born into. It's easy to think that family is only blood, but Jesus Himself challenges this idea. In Matthew 12:49-50, Jesus says, "Here are my mother and my brothers, for whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." Jesus, the Son of God, redefined family. He showed us that true family is not about DNA, but about a shared destiny. It's about those who are aligned with your purpose and who are walking with you on the journey God has for you. The family God sends you is not bound by blood, it is bound by purpose. There's a reason why God places people in your life at specific times. It's because He knows what you need for the next phase of your journey. The people who are destined to be in your life will help you fulfill the calling God has on your life, even if they don't look like you, think like you, or come from the same place as you. Think of the people who walked alongside you when you felt broken, discouraged, or lost. Think about the ones who prayed for you, encouraged you, or showed up when you least expected it. They might not have shared the same bloodline as you, but they shared something much deeper, a common destiny in God. The Bible is full of stories of people who were brought together by divine purpose, not by blood. Joseph's life is a perfect example. His brothers, those who shared his DNA, betrayed him. They sold him into slavery. But it was the people Joseph met in Egypt, those who weren't connected to him by family or blood, who became the family that helped him rise to prominence and fulfill God's purpose for his life. What you need to understand is that your purpose is bigger than your family history. God will place the people in your life who are meant to help you fulfill that purpose, even if they don't come from the same background or share your bloodline. These people will walk with you, encourage you, and help you rise to the place God has ordained for you. Family through destiny is not just about being supported when you're struggling, it's about having people who will point you to God as your source. The family God sends into your life will encourage you to lean on Him, to trust Him, and to depend on Him for everything. Sometimes we mistakenly think that family is the place we go for all our needs, emotional, spiritual, financial, but the truth is, God is your source. The people who are destined to be in your life will direct you toward God as your ultimate provider, your ultimate protector, and your ultimate source of strength. These people will be instruments of God's grace in your life, pointing you back to Him when you stray, reminding you of His promises when you forget, and encouraging you to keep going when you're tempted to quit. The family God sends into your life is not perfect. They will not always say the right things or do the right things, but they will love you with a love that reflects Christ's love for you. They will challenge you, sometimes hurt you, and sometimes even push you to your limits, but all of it will be used to grow you into the person God has destined you to be. Paul's relationship with Timothy in the Bible is a beautiful example. Though they were not related by blood, Paul took Timothy under his wing, mentored him, and guided him through difficult times. And even when Timothy faced persecution, Paul's love and encouragement helped Timothy stand firm in his faith. Your true family is not the one that always agrees with you or makes life easy for you. Your true family is the one that will challenge you to grow, to rise above your circumstances, and to become the person God has called you to be even when it's uncomfortable. You may be feeling lonely or discouraged right now, wondering where your true family is. Maybe you're experiencing strain with your biological family, or perhaps you feel like you don't have the support system you need. But I encourage you to trust God. He knows exactly who you need. He will send you the right people at the right time, people who will love you, support you, and walk with you toward your destiny. Trust Him to bring the family who will help you fulfill your purpose. Trust Him to lead you to the people who will walk with you through your trials, celebrate your victories, and challenge you to be your best. Remember, God sends family through destiny, not destiny. Your true family is not defined by your past, by your lineage, or by your bloodline. It is defined by the divine connections that God has orchestrated for your life. You are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, a group of people who are destined to be part of your journey, not by accident, but by divine design. Trust God to send the family you need. Trust Him to bring the people who will help you fulfill your purpose, and know that the family God sends you will love you in ways that go far beyond blood. Life has a way of testing us. The storms we face, the challenges that come, the people who hurt us, and the circumstances that seem beyond our control, all of these can leave us feeling overwhelmed, broken, and defeated. If we're not careful, the weight of these difficulties can shape our identity, making us feel like victims rather than conquerors. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that our past defines our future, that our pain determines our potential, and that the wounds of life are permanent. But I'm here to tell you today, you are not a victim, you are a vessel. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. When life tries to define you by your hardships, when it wants to label you with titles like failure, broken, unlucky, or defeated, you need to reject those labels. You need to recognize that what has happened to you does not have to determine who you are. You are not the sum of your pain. You are not the result of the mistakes others made or the trials you've endured. No, you are far greater than that. You are a vessel, a container designed by God to carry greatness, to carry His purpose, and to bring His light into a world that is desperate for hope. A victim is someone who sees themselves as powerless, someone who believes that life has happened to them and that there is nothing they can do about it. A victim sees only the scars, the disappointments, and the setbacks, and believes those things define them. But that mindset is limiting and false. When you see yourself as a victim, you surrender your power. You allow your circumstances to control you, and you let the world around you determine who you are. On the other hand, a vessel is a container meant for a purpose. A vessel is created to hold something of value. When you understand yourself as a vessel, you begin to see your life through a different lens. You realize that the struggles you faced have not come to break you, but to shape you. They are not a reflection of your worth, but of your strength, resilience, and capacity to carry something greater. Shifting from a victim mentality to a vessel mentality requires a change in perspective. Instead of asking, "Why me?" or "Why did this happen to me?" you begin to ask, "What is God doing in this season of my life? And how can this pain prepare me for what He has for me?" The transition is not easy, and it may take time, but it is the first step toward walking in your true identity and embracing the destiny that God has prepared for you. One of the most difficult things to grasp is that our pain is not wasted. It can be hard to believe that the heartache, the struggles, and the betrayals we've experienced can have any positive impact on our lives. But the truth is, God does not allow pain to come into our lives without purpose. In fact, He uses pain to prepare us for the destiny He has in store for us. Every trial you have endured, every disappointment you've faced, every rejection and every loss has been used to build you, to strengthen you, and to mold you into the person you are becoming. Your pain has made you more compassionate, more resilient, more determined. It has opened your eyes to the world around you and given you the ability to empathize with others in their struggles. As a vessel, You are designed to carry the experiences of your life not as a weight, but as wisdom. You can take the brokenness, the wounds, and the scars and allow them to fuel your purpose. Because just as God has healed you, He will use you to heal others. Your pain is part of the process that leads you to your calling. It is not wasted. When you view yourself as a victim, you tie your identity to your circumstances. If things are going well, you feel powerful and capable. But when life gets tough, when the storms rage, you feel small and helpless. Your self-worth becomes dependent on what is happening around you, and that can lead to emotional and spiritual instability. But as a vessel, your identity is not tied to your circumstances. Your worth is not defined by what you have or haven't experienced. You are a vessel of purpose, and your purpose is not dependent on external factors. Your purpose is defined by God, and it was placed within you long before you faced your first trial. When you embrace your identity as a vessel, you realize that you are a container of something far greater than yourself. The world might try to break you, to make you feel insignificant or powerless, but God has created you for a purpose. No matter what you've been through, no matter how many setbacks you've faced, your identity is secure in Him. You are His masterpiece, created for good works that were prepared in advance for you to do. A vessel is meant to carry something. It could be a simple cup that holds water, or it could be a treasure chest that holds precious jewels. Whatever the vessel is, its purpose is to contain something valuable. And so it is with you. You are designed to carry greatness. You are created to hold the promises of God, the wisdom of the Holy Spirit, the love of Christ, and the power of the resurrection. You are not just any container. You are a vessel designed to carry the greatest treasure the world has ever known. The Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians 4:7, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us." You, my friend, are a jar of clay, but inside of you is a treasure, the presence of God, the light of His glory, and the power to change the world. Your life is meant to be a testimony of His greatness. Every time you face a struggle and choose to stand firm in your faith, you allow God's greatness to shine through you. God has called you to be a vessel not just for yourself, but for others. You are called to be a conduit of healing, hope, and restoration. As you allow God to work in and through you, He will use your life to pour out His love and grace to a broken world. In 2 Corinthians 1:3-4 it says, "Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God." As a vessel, you are entrusted with the comfort and healing that God has given you, and you are meant to share that with others. Your experiences, your pain, your healing, your journey are not just for you. They are for those who are struggling, for those who need to hear your story and see that it is possible to overcome. When you recognize that you are a vessel, you understand that your purpose extends beyond your own life. You are called to pour into others, to encourage them, to help them heal, and to point them toward the hope that you've found in Christ. As a vessel, you are not meant to be empty. God will fill you with His love, His wisdom, and His strength, so that you can pour those things out to others. The key to being a vessel is allowing God to fill you, and this requires surrender. You may feel empty right now, like you have nothing left to give. Maybe you're feeling drained, overwhelmed, or exhausted. But let me remind you, God never leaves His vessels empty. He will fill you to overflowing so that you can pour into the lives of others. The more you surrender to Him, the more He will fill you with His power and presence. The more you allow Him to work in your life, the more He will pour through you. You are not just a vessel for yourself, you are a vessel for His kingdom, and He will use you to bring His light to the world. You are not a victim, you are a vessel. You are not defined by your pain, your struggles, or your past. You are defined by the treasure inside you, by the purpose God has placed on your life, and by the power He has given you to overcome. Rise up today and embrace your true identity. You are not helpless. You are not defeated. You are a vessel created by God to carry His greatness and pour His love into the world. You are a vessel of purpose. You are a vessel of healing. You are a vessel of hope, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you from fulfilling the destiny God has set before you. Legacy, it's a word that carries weight, meaning, and depth. It's a word that speaks to the future, to something that goes beyond the confines of our immediate lives. A legacy is more than just what we leave behind in terms of material possessions. It's the impact we make, the lives we touch, and the values we instill in others. It's a lasting imprint, a footprint on the sands of time that will remain long after we're gone. I want to tell you today, you have a legacy to birth. This isn't just a motivational phrase. This is the truth about your life. Whether you realize it or not, whether you see it or not, you are a vessel for something greater than yourself. You were born for more than just existing. You were born to create, to build, to influence, and to leave something powerful behind. The legacy that you are called to birth might not be fully visible yet, but it is real, and it is growing inside of you. When we think of legacy, our minds often jump to the great men and women of history, leaders, visionaries, and trailblazers who have left behind monumental contributions. We think of people like Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and Maya Angelou, whose legacies transcend their lifetimes and continue to inspire future generations. But legacy isn't limited to grand gestures or global movements. Your legacy doesn't have to be defined by world-changing accomplishments. It can be found in the quiet moments, in the values you instill in your children, in the way you love your friends, in the impact you have on your community, and in the kindness you show to strangers. What is important to understand is that legacy is intentional. It doesn't just happen by accident. You don't just wake up one day and discover that you've left a legacy. It is something you actively work towards, something you cultivate over time. Your life, the way you choose to live it, the way you choose to influence the world around you, all of these things contribute to the legacy you will leave behind. When you embrace the reality that you have a legacy to birth, you take on the responsibility of stewarding that legacy. You realize that everything you do today has a ripple effect, that your actions today will echo in the future. One of the most important aspects of legacy is the choices we make today. The decisions we make, the values we uphold, the actions we take, they all contribute to the legacy we will leave behind. You might think that the small decisions you make every day don't matter. After all, how much impact can one person's choices really have? But the truth is, every choice you make has the potential to affect generations to come. Think about the people in your life whose legacies have shaped you. It wasn't just one big moment that impacted you. It was the accumulation of their choices, the way they treated you, the things they taught you, the love they gave you. Your choices, no matter how small they seem in the moment, have the same power to shape the lives of others. When you choose kindness, when you choose to love even when it's hard, when you choose to forgive, when you choose to act with integrity, you are creating a legacy of compassion, grace, and wisdom. Your legacy isn't built on grandiose acts alone. It is built on a foundation of consistent small choices that reflect your values and the heart of who you are. Too often, we believe that legacy is something reserved for later in life, for the point when we've arrived, or when we've achieved something noteworthy. But the reality is, your legacy begins right now. The choices you make today will set the tone for the legacy you leave tomorrow. You don't have to wait for some big moment to start creating your legacy. Every moment is an opportunity to sow the seeds of something greater. Your legacy is already being birthed in the present. Perhaps you're thinking, I haven't done anything extraordinary yet. How can I have a legacy? But let me remind you, extraordinary things are often built on the foundation of ordinary actions. The way you live your life today, the way you treat others, the way you handle challenges, the way you pursue your passions and dreams, that is what shapes your legacy. In every area of life, you are laying the groundwork for something that will outlast you. how you handle your relationships, how you manage your time, how you pursue your purpose, all of these things matter. Every action is a brushstroke in the painting of your legacy. The question is, what kind of legacy do you want to birth? Legacy is not about self-centeredness. It's not about building something for your own glory, but about giving something away that will outlast your time on earth. It's about investing in others, empowering others, and leaving behind a trail of goodness and wisdom that others can build upon. The true power of legacy comes when we understand that it's not about what we accumulate, but about what we give away. It's about how we pour into others, how we lift them up, how we encourage them to step into their own purpose. Legacy is about transformation, both our own and others. Think about the people who have shaped you. Think about the mentors, the teachers, the friends, the family members who have poured into your life. They didn't keep their wisdom, their love, or their knowledge to themselves. They gave it away freely, knowing that their impact would live on in you. You have the same opportunity to give. Whether it's through the lessons you teach your children, the guidance you offer your friends, the wisdom you share with those who are struggling, or the love you pour into your community, your legacy is created through what you choose to give away. When we think of legacy, we often focus on the triumphs and the successes. We envision the accolades, the recognition, and the perfect moments. But struggles are just as much a part of your legacy as your victories. In fact, it is through your struggles that your true legacy is often revealed. It's through your challenges that you discover your resilience, your strength, and your character. It's in the moments when you feel like giving up, but you keep going anyway, that your legacy begins to take shape. Your struggles show others that they, too, can overcome. Your perseverance in the face of hardship encourages others to keep pressing forward. The way you handle life's obstacles with faith, grace, and determination is a testament to the power of your legacy. It's through your struggles that your legacy becomes even more meaningful, because it shows others that greatness isn't about never falling, but about getting up every time you do. At the core of every true legacy is purpose. You are not here by accident. God has a plan for your life, and that plan is meant to extend far beyond your own lifetime. The legacy you leave behind is rooted in the purpose God has called you to fulfill. God has uniquely equipped you to leave a mark on this world, and that mark is linked to His divine purpose for your life. You have been designed with specific gifts, talents, and experiences that will allow you to fulfill that purpose. But the most important thing to remember is this: your legacy is not about you. It is about fulfilling God's calling on your life. When you live in alignment with God's purpose for you, your legacy will naturally reflect His love, His goodness, and His power. It will inspire others to seek Him, to live according to His will, and to walk in their own God-given purpose. Your legacy is ultimately about pointing others to Christ and helping them discover the plans He has for them. You have a legacy to birth, and it is growing inside of you even now. The choices you make today, the values you live by, the way you love and serve others, the struggles you overcome, and the way you pursue God's purpose for your life, all of these things are building your legacy. You are not here by accident. You have been created for greatness. You have been called to make a lasting impact, to birth a legacy that will echo for generations to come. Embrace this truth and live your life with intention, purpose, and the knowledge that you are creating something powerful that will outlast you. Your legacy is not just for you. It is for those who come after you, for your children, your community, and the world that needs to see what God can do through a willing vessel. Birth your legacy today. As we draw to a close, I want to remind you of one irrefutable truth. You are not defined by your past, your pain, or your limitations. You are a vessel created for greatness. Your life has a purpose, a legacy that is waiting to be birthed into this world. It doesn't matter where you come from or what obstacles you've faced. What matters is that you are still here, still breathing, still capable of making a difference. Your legacy is not something that will be handed to you on a silver platter. It's something you will build one day at a time through the choices you make, the actions you take, and the love you pour into others. You have a legacy to birth not just for yourself, but for those who will come after you. The impact of your life will ripple through time, touching the lives of countless people in ways you may never fully see, and that is the beauty of legacy. It's not about the accolades or recognition you receive. It's about the lives you touch and the seeds you plant that will grow long after you're gone. So, take heart in knowing that your story is far from over. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a vessel, a living testimony of strength, resilience, and grace. Embrace the power of your choices, stand firm in your purpose, and know that the legacy you are meant to leave is already being formed. Step forward in faith, knowing that you have the power to birth a legacy that will change the world. The future is waiting for you to make your mark. Now, go and leave your legacy.